What's up, y'all? We back at it with another review, man. So I just got done watching the latest 4 episodes of Malcolm in the Middle. Life is Still Unfair. It's a continuation to his, the original series of Malcolm in the Middle, which came out in the early 2000s. Now I love that show. Now it was one of those shows I didn't watch when it first came out, but like when I was in my teenage years, I sat down and watched it because it used to come on USA. I believe it was USA, but they used no, matter of fact, it was FX, and they used to show like 2 episodes a day, and I fell in love with this series. Like, yo, I watched it so many times. So we got this, this new series, this I guess sequel to the series, and what I got to say about it right off the rip, is it good? Yes, I did enjoy it. There are some things, that I was kind of like, why did they add that? But for the most part, I did enjoy it, and I like the fact that they had just about everybody return. The only person who was missing, and I'm not sure if that's the original Jamie. Let me know down below if that's the original baby Jamie. But the only person who didn't return was Dewey, and I think that's because Dewey was doing some type of school thing, so they had someone else take Dewey place. But you have it where Malcolm haven't seen his family in years. He only talked to him through text messages and emails. Every now and then he'll answer the phone, to the point where, like, I seen it in the trailer that they didn't, they haven't seen him in a long time, but I didn't know. They wasn't even aware that Malcolm had a daughter, a teenage daughter. That's how long he avoided seeing his family. And when you get to like in the beginning, you kind of look at it like, dang, that's messed up. But then when you get to the end, the final episode, you see the reason why he stayed away from his family. It was really sad, and it ties into the very last episode of the original Malcolm in the Middle series. If you don't remember, I suggest you go back and watch that episode. It was pretty damn funny, especially with Reese making that little doo-doo bomb with his grandma. But anyway, you have it where Malcolm's upset with his mother in that series finale, and that's when she tells him like, "Yo, you could be the president. Like, you have the capability of being the president, and you can be one of the best damn presidents there is because you know how it is to be at the bottom. We've been suffering our whole lives, and you know how the people, how the people at the bottom actually live, and you can fight to make that better." Now, I'm not gonna lie, that ending in that speech that Lois gave Malcolm in that final series finale was amazing. I really loved that speech, and she was like, "Look at me and tell me you can't do it," and he's like, "You expect me to become a president, the best president of all time?" She says, "Tell me you can't do it." And then, that was a lot of pressure on him. And all the decisions he made in his life was trying to get to that goal. And eventually he just felt like a failure because he didn't achieve it. And I'm looking at it like, yo, dude, you're still young. You still got time to become the president. But that's the main reason he stayed away from home. And I thought that was a nice way to tie it in. Like, he played it off as if he didn't want to see his family because of because of how much trouble they get into when they're around one another. But when it was really due to the comment that his mom said, and she was like, "Yo, I wasn't, I said that as a plan, but we make plans all the time, and when one plan doesn't happen, you make another plan." And so he's pretty much looking at his mom like, "Yo, I based my whole life on that, and you're telling me it, it was just something you came up with." So I thought that was hilarious. You have a lot of characters who returned. Craig came, although Craig didn't have as many funny moments as I would like, because Craig was funny as hell in the original series. He only had one funny moment to me, and that was the bathroom scene. I thought that was hilarious. You had it where Stevie returned as well. Stevie didn't have a big role. It looked like he was married and he had a son. Had a husband and he had a son. Um, you also have it where Dewey, he became a musician. If you remember the original series, he was always the one who had that musical talent. Francis, they kind of say like he's in between jobs. He actually has a kid on the way, but I think it's hilarious on how they kept the relationship between him and his mom the same as they did from the original series. So it was funny just having him going back trying to find ways to move up the list on his mother's list. He has a baby on the way with Piyama. Piyama makes a return as well. You have it where what's his name, Reese. He was hilarious as well. Reese was actually doing like YouTube or Twitch, so to speak, and he was making a ton of money off of it. And you had it where he kind of had this rivalry going on with the youngest child of Hal and Lois, which is Kelly. If you remember in the final episode when it was going off, they showed, you know what I'm saying, Lois showing how a pregnant stick, saying that she was pregnant once again. We never got to see the birth of that child because the series ended, but we get to see her in this series. And, you know, she's around, it looked like she was around the age of maybe like 16, you know, anywhere from 13 to 16. And you got it where her and Reese are kind of going back at one another, getting revenge. I thought that was hilarious. Of course, Hal and Lois, they're still together. They never really said if they were still working. We know the Quickie Mark, they say the Quickie Mark got burned down. It was kind of implied that Craig did it because he didn't get a promotion. Um, then you have it where it's, other characters, small characters, actually made an appearance. You had Richie show up, which was amazing. You had what's his name, Cadet Eric. He showed up as well as Cadet Ken Finley. They had the other guy too. I can't think of his name. Then you had the musicians as well that used to sing, that used to play poker with Hal. They all made an appearance as well. You actually had it where Abe made an appearance because of course, he was one of the poker players, as well as his wife, Kitty. She makes an appearance as well. They also show the people that Francis used to work for. They show the wife because, you know, of course, the husband died in real life. Gretchen returns, and, you know, her, of course, Otto, her husband, he passed away in real life. So they made it seem like he passed away by fighting a jaguar, I believe the animal was that she said. Uh, they also have as a surprise star up here, which I was very surprised to see. They had the guy from Stranger Things. He also played in Ghostbusters. I can't think of his name, but he was actually in it as well, which really caught me all off back. Then we also get Malcolm's daughter, Leah, and she kind of was just, she's just like Malcolm was, like she's just how Malcolm was at that age, except she's you know what I'm saying, a female, and she doesn't have the family dynamic that Malcolm had growing up. So she's not as hardcore, or I guess as willing to get even with people who do her wrong like Malcolm did. Growing up or in the series, but all in all, man, I had a fun time with these 4 episodes. I would like if the series came back. Again, I forgot to tell y'all, Jamie, he joined the military, but yeah, I would like for it to come back, but I did enjoy these 4 episodes. I liked the way it ended. It was pretty much just everyone paying tribute to Hal, telling Hal thank you for all the things that he did, how he changed everyone's lives for the better. So I really like that concept. This would have been an amazing series to drop on Father's Day. Like if this would have came out on Father's Day, I think it would have hit even harder with fans. But for me, I really enjoyed it, man. You guys can let me know how y'all feel about this. You know what I'm saying? This, I guess, this 4 episode season 1 that we got. It says season 1, so maybe we'll get a season 2. Um, I don't know, but let me know your thoughts down below. It's definitely worth watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Oh, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and talk. The funniest part in this whole thing, and it had some funny moments. It had a couple funny moments. Like I said, Reese going back and forth with his sister, that was funny. Malcolm, when he seen his mom come to see him and he ran down the street, that was hilarious. But the ending part when they were standing on the wedding floor, I mean on the ceremony floor, and Reese and Francis drops a bag of sparkles on how it caught me off guard, and I just thought that shit was hilarious. But again, let me know your thoughts on this down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.